Some of what you hear tonight will be truth, whilst the rest, you can be assured, is wild speculation, exaggeration based on myth, legend, folklore, hearsay, and in some cases, heresy. The man sitting before you here, in his chair, sipping his wine, is Dr. Philip Anthony Goff, PhD, GCSE. An academic, a philosopher as it were, philosophy. One too often thinks of the colour grey, so many shades, essentially boring, wishy-washy, faffy, utterly pointless. It never knows what it says on the tin, there isn't really even a tin. Yet this man craves structure, rules, systems, yearns for a truth, whilst the rest of us manage to bumble through life calling it common sense. Such structure and rules are so important to him that after meeting him for just a general coffee in the day, it's not uncommon for him to pull out a crumpled, fumbled piece of paper from his pocket, which transpires is actually an agenda of the subjects he wants to cover with you. Baffling, really. He'll run through these subjects and tick them off as he goes, and he'll leave you maybe 2 minutes at the end for an AOB, an any other business, where you get to talk about your recent trip to Keswick, where you get to tell the story of the kids getting picked up by the police for pretending to be crime. Yep, structure. Therefore, to mirror this sense of structure, we split tonight's speech into a very succinct lecture. You've all got the literature in front of you, and we've handed out some pens as well. There's been a little quiz, so hopefully you're all kind of getting on with that and you've worked out some answers, and we'll be diving into this lecture very shortly. There'll be no deviation from the lecture, so please, no questions, wait till the end. Okay. Phil, before we carry on, we'd like to thank, there's a couple of people we'd like to thank. There's a lot of people who've made it from far and wide. You've got your contingent here from Tucson, Arizona. They're over at the back there. You know those? Well, expert is zombies. Are they not from Tucson? Okay, we've got Carly Jacobs here from the Bay Islands. Is she here? No. Okay. Okay, well, no Goff wedding is complete normally without. Okay, he said Frank Jacobs. Frank, you chance. Frank. You must have all experienced. He goes to the back. I don't know. This guy's in here. Where's he gone? Well, he's a legend anyway. You see, Frank. There's a few people who couldn't make it. Usually these people were here, but they should have been on this list actually. Brother James sent his best from Teze. He's in Teze at the moment. If you don't know Brother James is Philip's favourite monk. There is Miss Catherine Harrison sent her best. She was for some time Philip's English teacher. She was also his cultural guru, and for a short period of time, his hairdresser. A bit weird. He used to get his hair cut at school. It's actually true. There's one person we particularly like to raise a glass to, and we'll do that now, and that's the man who taught Philip everything he knows about the piano, and that's to Kevin Tipper. Kevin Tipper. We'll get on with it then. Okay, great silence please. I'm going to hand you over to my esteemed colleague, Dr. Jonathan Horton, as we present the hard problem of Dr. Philip Anthony Goff, PhD, GCSE. Good evening.
Could you please flip over from your question sheet so that you can follow the lecture, the order of the sections. Thank you very much. So, hello ladies and gentlemen folk. Just before we move on to the main body of this talk, it wouldn't be right if we didn't thank the key contributors who have done remarkable work in creating, nurturing an elegant and pragmatic solution to the many follies relating to Dr. Goff, GCSE. These are due to be outlined in this paper. This solution comes in the form of their beautiful daughter Emma, their formidable and comprehensive published work which is called Applied Research into the Problems of P. Goff, a public in the field, offers some real insights into how the problem of photograph was formed and thus has so far been applied. We would like to thank the research partnership, the Institute of Jonathan and Sally Boyle. He has a broad background which formed the solution. So now I'll hand you over to Professor Simon Goff for part one, which is the problem of youth and the parental umbrella. Thank you.
A weedy child, in glasses, he fainted a lot. An altar boy who rang the bells, a choir boy who had the non-singing part in any plays, he loved Doctor Who. The TARDIS, time travel, logical paradoxes. You could fob him off with the promise to buy him a sonic screwdriver if he just went to the kitchen for a spoon. When he was 7, his father once frightened him white by saying good night and then coming back in the room on his knees as Davros, the evil boss of the nasty Daleks, who makes no use of any legs and screams fiercely, exterminate. The following year, his mother knitted him a K9, Doctor Who's robot dog, and he had a range of time travel manuals to peruse. He never broke any bones. And then puberty hit. Some short time later, on his way home from school, a red van pulled up next to him. 4 boys the same age as him got out of it and grabbing him threw him into the back and drove off. They pressed him to the floor of the van with their feet until the destination, one of their houses, where he was tied to a chair in the kitchen. "Do you like blonde, Phil?" one of them kept asking as chemicals were mixed. They bleached his brown hair and with a toothbrush bleached his brown eyebrows. And when the job was done, he was given the explanation. With patchy hair and snowy eyebrows, he was told that they had found out that over a 3-week period, he had snogged each of their girlfriends, one after the other, in turn.
It was a lucky couple of weeks. One of them was an recently ex-girlfriend.
On another occasion, his parents, having left him in charge of the home, returned late in the evening to find that the sheets that had been drying on the line in the garden at the back were pulled down and muddied in the grass. And that worse, there was some crap on these sheets in the garden at the back. It was obvious even in the dark. And they immediately assumed, his parents, knowing him at that time, that given his ways at that age, it could only have been him that would have brought this chaos into the domestic sphere that night. He was blamed for those bespattered sheets. It was not out of place at that time for him to be accused of such a disgrace. Nothing, when he was a teenager, was to be judged beyond him. He had, in short, an incredibly low reputation, not only among fellow students, who resorted to kidnap and tarring, but also among his own family, who could easily imagine him indulging in the wildest extravagance. It turned out that the neighbours' 2 incontinent Rottweilers found Admittedly, on the previous occasion, his parents found under his bed one morning, after another night of teenage revelry, items which are not normally found, never mind used together, and they were duly alarmed. They found some bananas and a broken crucifix. Anyone's mind can only with difficulty comprehend the enormities of Philip's adolescence. And now part 2, which is called the problem of free Phil, a rebel without a ghost.